Let's build the Harry Potter Hagrid's Hut, an unexpected visit. And looks like we get to start right off with building a dog house. Now, any of you who watched my Mandrake video is aware of the fact that I had really not watched very much of the Harry Potters. I think a really long time ago, maybe when they first came out, I watched maybe the first two, but I remembered very little to nothing about them. But when recently the 4K version of the movies went on sale, and so we picked up the whole collection, and we're like, we should probably watch them, kind of get in the know a little bit about them, because we always felt like we knew nothing about what we were talking about whenever the subject would come up. And so now I have watched all of the movies, and I am completely obsessed. I know I'm a little bit late in the game to it, but I don't care. I was an absolute mess. The whole time I was watching them, I was just mesmerized and stressed and frustrated when, a beloved character would pass away. And I just, oh my goodness, it was just a big range of emotions. We're going to make 2 of these, actually. The whole time I watched that, and I can now see why it is such a loved series. And I'm just glad that I finally gave it more of a chance. And so now a whole new world of Lego sets has opened up for me, because I never really collected any of them because they weren't something that was very familiar to me. I mean, they looked cool and stuff, but now I'm like, oh my goodness, now I have to collect them. We're going to have to set up a whole Hogwarts, like a giant display of something awesome, and created a whole new beast of myself. It's actually a lot of fun. I was thinking about it, and I was like, they haven't, it seems like in a while, made really amazing, a series of movies, a storyline that just really kind of touches a lot of people, like the Harry Potters did, Star Wars and Lord of the Rings. And I mean, you can go through some of these iconic films that have just stood the test of time. And I don't know, it just doesn't seem like there's been any recently that has really been able to do that. And so being able to discover one, even though it was made a while ago, it was just awesome to be able to really kind of step into an incredible world of storytelling. And we get to make Fang. I think we're making his hut here. I love Fang. He's awesome. I love how he's not necessarily the bravest. I'm going to make 2 of this other thing too. Made me chuckle. I'm going to be honest with you, though. I was expecting, it was what I thought was a children's book line. And in the stores, it's always in the children's section, not in the young adult section, or it was always in the children's area. And so I think I was expecting it to be kind of geared much more towards that. And oh my goodness, I mean, maybe the first book or 2, but it gets very serious very fast in those movies, and they are dealing with some really heavy topics, and it really threw me. And I was like, I'm a kind of a little bit thrown here, because I was expecting something, put that way. I was expecting something very different. I guess more lighthearted or something. And then some of the topics that they were discussing, I was just like, you're talking about a lot of grief and, just some really trying to work through some big issues in your heart and figuring out choices that you're going to make. I mean, it was some serious stuff, and I was not expecting that at all. I'm not sure that they should be considered young children's books in any way. I suppose that it's good that they are actually putting those topics out there for kids to kind of be dealing with. I think when kids are sheltered too much, then when hard times come, they do have a difficulty. So we're going to make 4 of these. I left my puppies downstairs to have some time. I knew they weren't going to want to settle down and rest. It's a little bit early in the morning here. So I let them be with my daughter, but they don't like being without me. They just set up a huge howling session. So funny. I read once upon a time that it was good for your children to have pets growing up because it allowed them to work through the grieving process. That was very important for them to be able to learn how to work through, because at some point they were going to have to face that in their life. We all do. And my kids had a lot of pets growing up, and we went through a lot of grieving processes. And I think that's very accurate. I think it's very true. They do need to be able to learn to work through that. It's very hard. It can be almost more painful, I think, for the parent in a way to watch their child grieving, and you're grieving at the same time because it was a family pet. But they definitely dealt with a lot of grief in that. And it took me a minute to kind of get my mind wrapped around kind of the way that the storytellers and the author were kind of going with it. When I started to kind of grasp and realize kind of what the purpose of it was, I was like, okay, I can see now. And then I was able to enjoy it a whole lot more. I think because I was expecting something a little bit lighter. I was really thrown for a loop, like, wait, this is really heavy, and I don't know if I want to sit through this. And got really scared that it was going to end really bad, but it was a beautiful story in the end. And such a fabulous storytelling that went on in there. So we're going to do those 4 there. Really easy to make that roof, but look how awesome it looks. And look at Fang. I love these dogs. Oh, I love them. Wait, we gotta put this little thing up here. And then he goes in here. How adorable. I was so excited when I saw that he came in the set. Okay, we'll move on to bag 2. Okay, I'm pretty sure that this is going to be Ron here with this red hair. He has 2 faces. And short little legs here. Where are they? There they are. Now I'm looking for his wand. Here we go. It comes in a pack of 2. I'm going to kind of put that to the side. I bet you it's going to be somebody else's. This other spare one. You can go by Fang. Oops. I have to admit that when I first started watching the movies, I had some sort of weird idea. Well, it wasn't really a weird idea. I just kind of was suspicious that I didn't know if you would end up... Move those out of the way. We're going to build up something big here. I didn't know how you would end up feeling about Harry through the movies. And I think it was because I was kind of taking some experience from The Lord of the Rings. And this is kind of a horrible thing to say, but I think through it, Frodo is, he's kind of the ultimate hero, right? Those weren't supposed to be stacked. They're just supposed to go there and there. I thought it told me to stack them, but it didn't. He's supposed to be that hero and kind of gets everybody to the end of the goal there and everything. But for me, he's not really truly the hero of the story. I think that it was supposed to be that way. I don't think there's a right or wrong here. I think Frodo did an unbelievable job, and Elijah Wood did an incredible job of portraying him. But I think that Frodo kind of really showed us almost he really struggled with that good and the bad and the ring corruption. And that wasn't his fault, but you kind of saw that, and through it you saw strength in other characters. I think Frodo showed weakness, and I think he was supposed to, and I could go on about this forever, but I won't bore you. But I kind of anticipated that Harry would end up being the same way, that it would be kind of something to where he didn't end up being your favorite character, that you would gravitate more towards some of the other ones because, I don't know, they would kind of touch your heart more or something. Frodo ended up being such a sweet and lovely character, and then in the end, I mean, he really struggled and stuff through the corruption of the ring. And I thought, well, is Harry going to be the same situation? It did almost, in one of them, what is it, the third one maybe, it kind of leaned towards that a little bit of just the potential there. And then he was able to realize that he could conquer that. And that's when I really started to kind of fall in love with the character more and more. But he didn't. Harry ended up being where he was able to be your favorite from the very beginning to the very end. He was a character that you felt so dearly for the whole time. He never got to a position where you were like, I don't know, frustrated at him, or why are you making these choices, or seeing any form of the part you love so much about him deteriorate in any way. Which made me more and more and more nervous the farther it got on, because I was like, wait a minute, this isn't going to end well. This is going to end bad. Something's going to happen to Harry. And I remember getting really flustered and being like, I'm not going to watch these if Harry dies. I'm not going to be able to handle this, because he's my favorite character. And the more you watch, the stronger that became. And yeah, I was an absolute mess. But that points to some incredible storytelling right there. I'm going to build up a base here to his hut. So those of you who know the entire story can probably imagine what our mesa was on the very last movie. So we're going to make 2 of those, just like that. There's a lot of emotions that went on there. We're going to build, let's see. Oh, that's nice. Look at that. Kind of like magic. I think the hinge piece is probably one of my favorite Lego bricks. There's something very, very special about it. Now, where are those little pieces? Here we go. It's hiding from me. We had a storm roll through last night. Thunderstorms in the south are not my favorite aspect of it. As long as they're not tornadic, I usually tell myself I can get through them. And I've gotten better the longer I've lived here, but that one last night, oh, that was not good. That was not friendly. I woke up to it. started about, gosh, 11 o'clock. And it did not calm down until about 1 in the morning. It was a really bad storm. It wasn't dangerous from the perspective of excessively high winds, or it was not tornadic, but the lightning with it was intense, and the thunder was shaking the house really, really bad. When we got our puppy, Wally, he did not do well with storms, especially thunder, and he would really stress. And we kind of worked with him the same way we worked with our Schnauzers when we got them, of just very calm and, kind of excited when it would hit. Oh, did you hear that thunder? Like it was kind of a fun game or something. And so he's gotten really good at them. But last night he was jumping every single time a really bad thunder would hit. And I was jumping too, because you weren't quite expecting them, and then it would hit really bad. I've done this completely backwards. This angled one needs to go on this side. And then we can put it in correctly. Yeah, like that. And so I knew he needed to probably have a little bit more comforting than normal, because I know that it's not good if you make it be like, oh no, are you okay? Like making them nervous in any way. So we normally just kind of act completely calm, like nothing's going on. And then they're like, oh, they're not worried, so I guess it's fine. But last night I ended up having to hold him just kind of real calmly. Let's snuggle and, But I would say, I told myself, don't jump, don't act nervous, because you're touching him, you're holding him, so he's going to feel your energy. And I had a hard time with a couple of those, though. We would both jump, and it was pretty bad. But even one of my Schnauzers, and she sleeps through any storm. She's like a rock. She woke up and she was nervous last night, so that tells you that it was a pretty nasty storm. I was checking on the dogs more than I was checking on myself. It's like, normally I'm dealing with my own anxiety when the storms come, but last night I was so worried about them that it kind of helped me be nervous, or less nervous overall, which was helpful. It looks like it closes and then can open up, so I wonder if we can open it up afterwards and we can have like a little play area, which would be really cool. Be able to see into the hut a little bit more, but it closes up. That's awesome. It has been a bad year for storms here. We've had more lightning that's come straight down, cloud to ground than normal here. And it's just been nasty all the way around. I'm not sure what the deal is with the weather this year. It doesn't want to be friendly at all. It's almost interesting the way that they're building this up for some reason. I'm not sure why. It seems interesting to me. Kind of has a different feel to it than what I would think for a little house. I think maybe because they're building up a foundation. But it is a stone house. Now we have to build this one correctly. To the angle. This is the... We could have just saved that other one. This is the opposite of what... No, I still did something wrong. This goes up here. I just can't get those right. Now it overhangs one. Same as that. It's kind of big and gangly with its two wings flopping out here everywhere. Oops. I forgot this from the other page. This piece that they're using right here, the back side of it has this open square, which is actually fitting into that stud right there, and it actually secures the build when it's pushed together, the little house. But then it pops out real easy, and that is not a technique that I have seen used before, and it's pure genius. Once again, they do such amazing things. I just get so excited. I love to do my own builds, and sometimes I think it would be a lot cheaper if I would just do that more instead of buying so many sets, because that can get costly. But I wouldn't stop buying sets for anything, because it's like every set that you build is going to a class with one of the masters at Lego. I mean, you're able to just kind of soak in all of their knowledge as you build if you pay attention to what they're doing. Right, now this is curious. Where does this piece go? Oh, I don't know where I missed that, but it was probably a while ago. Okay, I'm gonna do two of these. Oops. What I can't figure out is I miss a lot of steps because I get excited about whatever I'm building, and so then I don't know, my brain's skipping around or something. So then these are gonna go here and here on both sides, so that's how they're building up the walls to look like a circle, like that. All right, I'll open up bag 3. I get to do Harry in this one. Okay, I gotta see, does he have his scar? Yes, he does. It's probably hard to see. He's got this little bitty scar. Oh, it's awesome. But what I can't figure out is how my kids are able to build so much faster than me, and they don't actually miss pieces like what I do. This is a new set of wands, and these are a darker brown than the first one. The one that Ron has is the lighter brown. So his hair piece actually has a part that perfectly shows his scar. That's awesome. Which makes you think that my kids just have a lot clearer brains than I have, and I'm over here just like everywhere all at once. Which I know that I've been a whole lot worse since I got the brain damage that I have. Those little neurons up there that are damaged cause a lot of problems, I think. And so I know I'm more scatterbrained than I ever used to be. Look at that. We made a little torch. Oh, that's awesome. I'm actually going to close this up for the moment just so that it's a little bit smaller, even though they don't have it that way. We're going to do that again. So it's been kind of interesting learning to kind of deal with a new version of myself. I never used to be quite so all over the place in my brain. So I was always pretty level-headed, and now I just like jump around. I can jump from one conversation to the next and then back to the same one all in a heartbeat, and I'm keeping track of all the different conversations, and my family is just sitting there like, what are you doing? The amazing thing is that my kids have learned to really keep up with me, and they kind of know that my brain is kind of flits around a lot more than it used to, and so they're pretty good about like keeping track of. Sometimes my kids will be like, transition sentences, Mom. They like lose track of where I'm going. But my dad was here and he was, oops, forgot this, a couple years ago, and he was like, I was all over the place, I guess, with my topics. And he just looked at my kids and he's like, does she do this often? They're like, oh yeah. It's kind of funny. Your brain is very powerful. Kind of scary how much it controls. Have I done that right? It looks right. It doesn't say to do 2 of these. I'm smart enough to look there, so we're just going to build up 1. I'm thinking that maybe this is how they're kind of going to make it look like stone on the outside. No, this one. I love football. I'm speaking of American football in this instance. I know it's pronounced a little bit different when it's soccer. I think it's football or something. Oh, I said that wrong. I know I did. Oh, you can chastise me. But it does very much concern me. This goes right here. The risks that they carry to their brains with all of the hits that they take, and having dealing with that myself. A brain injury, it is always concerning because we love the game, but if the game carries the risks of these people's damaging their brain, then I think that really needs to be considered and looked at. And I know that they've done a lot for safety and protocols and stuff, but recently I know that there was, I believe his name is Brett Favre. Wanted to look that up and double check that because I did not want to get that wrong, but it was correct. Brett Favre recently announced that he has Parkinson's, and whether or not it's for sure from his football years, I'm not 100% sure by any means, but there definitely is something that brings up a concern there, and it really makes me sad. And I think it's a topic that definitely should be being talked about, and I know that they are, but the safety of the players and the safety of people's brains cannot be. Why is it? Oh, this curve was in wrong. This quarter circle needs to go this way because that's why it has to be a curved piece up there so that this curve and that curve will fit together. I have become a big advocate myself for really protection of your brain because I actually know the consequences of when it gets damaged and doesn't work as well. There was another employee at my daughter's work who received a concussion, and she wouldn't go to the doctor, but 2 weeks later she was still struggling and nauseated and stuff, and I was really frankly, I was actually upset because I was like, this is wrong. This is very wrong that she's not getting proper medical care because there's nothing more important than your brain. It kind of runs the whole show. But unfortunately, it was a medical insurance issue. I mean, they had medical insurance, but it was not good medical insurance, and therefore the costs are very high to go in and have anything done, and that is also very unfortunate and needs to be looked at. But there's my rant for the day, as I say to my kids. I usually go off about something. the way that they're building these up. So this one goes here. Now, we need another hinge piece. So there are 7 bags in total for this set. And they've been actually pretty decent sized bags. We've got quite a lot of pieces in them. I'm going to put in a little. It's a black barrel. I don't see black ones as much. Now, it did come with this cute little bitty sticker set, which I think is awesome. And it looks like we might use one here. I'm looking at this little picture correctly. Oh, not that piece. Let's see. Go this way. But I'm not sure what we're building. They want us to put number 3. Let's see, number 3. Oh, it's like a cupboard. The way it's being built up, it almost looked like we were going to make a TV. I'm like, well, it wouldn't be accurate. Did he have a TV? That's what's interesting is you don't see, they had it in the Muggle world, but they don't have it in their other world. I'm going to redo that because I think it's supposed to be recessed in there like that. Modern conveniences don't seem to be there. They kind of live, even their dress and stuff, they go back a little bit in style, which I think is kind of cool because it definitely gives it. Now, how in the world? Oh, I'm like, so these are the little legs right here. These studs, and then it's going to connect onto the wall using that modified brick. Yeah, how sweet. I'm going to build up another wall, I think. I like Hagrid's hut because it's just kind of like a place you would want to explore for a while. It's just kind of full of all kinds of stuff. So my daughter started actually reading the books. We were watching the movies, but she wanted to read the books too. And she's like, Mom, you're gonna have to read the books because there's so much in the books that they couldn't fit into the movies, which is very kind of typical. That's what happens. Let's see, this little red cup goes there. They can't fit it all in. And so, there we go. Put that in there. But one of the other struggles that I have since receiving my brain injury is I can't read for long periods of time. It sparks a lot of pain. And that was detrimental to me because reading was one of the, I love reading. And it broke my heart that I found that I had an alternative, that I could listen to audiobooks. And I always used to think that audiobooks were like cheating in some way. Like, I don't know. Just felt like that. Maybe it was because you can maybe zone out a little bit easier. I don't know. It just didn't feel right to me. But I had to adjust because it was that, or I didn't get to listen to my favorite books and have new ones and stuff. So I have learned to absolutely love audiobooks, partially too because I always have to be busy. My hands always seem to have to be busy. And so whether it's crocheting or painting or building Lego sets or whatever, I'm always like to be doing something. And so I found, especially when I was needing a positive way to look at it, that I could sit there and crochet or paint and listen to an audiobook, and it was like the best of two things at once. So a roundabout way of going round to, I was like, well, do they have them on audiobooks? The Harry Potter series, of course they do. And so I look it up to check them out and see, and I completely flipped out. I was just, oh my goodness, I was so excited because I found them read by Jim Dale. And he is, I think, a special gift with his artistry. I've been mesmerized by him for so long with some of the old Disney movies that I first saw him in. I think he's one of the most talented, incredible actors. And when I heard that he was reading them, I was like, oh my goodness, that's it. I am sold. I'll buy them all. This is Hagrid's chair. And so I have the first one, and I've started to listen to it. And didn't expect anything less than to be absolutely amazed with his reading of it, but it's so awesome. He's so enjoyable. So even if you have the ability to read with your eyes, you should give them a chance, the audiobooks, because he did such an amazing job. And my daughter, who's already read the first one, I think she's made it through all of them, or she's really close now, but she's a very fast reader. I had a migraine the other day, and I was laying there and I couldn't open my eyes because I couldn't see out of one eye, but I couldn't really sleep and rest, and I was fidgety and anxious, and so she was like, well, would you want to turn on one of your audiobooks? I'm like, oh, yes. And so she turned it on, and she completely got sucked in. She's like, he is so incredible at, did I do 2? Yes, I did. At reading this story. She's like, maybe I'll just listen with you. So the past couple days, we've been sectioning times out when she's not working to kind of work on projects and listen to the books together. And there is a lot in them that didn't make it into the movies. I'm not very far into the book, but one of the first things I've noticed is a little bit of difference with Ron versus how he is in the movies. And I love Ron. My daughter said, yeah, from what she's heard, that there definitely seems to be. Goes this way. I knew I had to flip one way or another, so it's doubled up. That's a cool doorway. Look at that. All right, bag 4. Oh, we get to do Hermione. Okay, she has 2 faces too. So she's got this one. And then she's looking a little bit more worried there. But anyways, yeah, she said that she had heard chatter that people liked Ron a lot better in the books, and that they didn't care for the complete way that he was represented. So she's got a different colored wand too. Not that he was represented bad in the movies at all. I think that they just they felt like he had more depth of character from what she was saying. If you have an opinion on this, let me know. So I'm actually excited to kind of see what my thought is at the end of the books on that. I don't think they could have cast those parts any better, though. Oh, we're going to make his little fireplace. Sticker number 1. The funny thing is that it only took me until maybe the 3rd or the 4th movie, and I was getting suspicious about things. And I was like, And so I started making theories of, wait, I'm doing it wrong again. It needs to be recessed, so you need to put it in. Or this sticker kind of looks like it's going deeper into the picture there. set it right on the edge. I started catching on a few things. I don't want to say exactly what because I'm afraid if someone's watching this and they're like me and haven't seen all the movies, I don't want to ruin anything. But there were some characters that I was like, thinking this on this one and this on this one, and specifically Snape I had a theory on, and I was accurate. And my family was actually very surprised that I caught on to it that quickly, and I was like, no. And I even stuck with it when things didn't look like they were going my theory's way. This goes, okay. Now, I'm going to put this in like this. But it could throw you because it is open here, so we should probably open it to make sure that it doesn't get messed up. And I had some theories about Ginny. It was kind of fun, actually. I'm kind of bad about doing that. I think I know what's happening. And my family will be like, how? They've gotten kind of used to it now, and I'm definitely not always correct, but I'll tell you who is. My mom figures things out before they happen in movies. She's like, oh, yeah, nope, that's going to happen. And we're like, no. And she's like, yep. And she's always right. She watches a lot of murder mysteries, and she can just... Man, she can sniff things out. I think this is the moss green here that they're putting in. But she is really good about figuring out characters' storylines. I'm not anywhere near as good as her, so I was kind of proud that I actually figured out some of them. Although I got nervous. I'm like, probably going to be wrong. Now this is interesting. I had it this way, and I didn't pay attention to the fact that they changed it, so I thought they put another row on, and they didn't. So I am new to this world, so I am not sure what this is. They've given me this one, but the one that they're saying to put on has a question mark on it. This picture is different than the picture in the book. The picture in the book shows a mystery. And here's my suspicion. You know the chocolate frogs that you get the card that has the different character on it? Is that this situation where everybody might get a different one? Because I am not seeing another one of these pieces. Oh my goodness. Oh, if I'm right, that's awesome. I don't know if everybody's is the same. I'm going to have to look this up. Okay, I found it on Lego's site. It says the set includes 2 of 14 random Hogwarts portraits. Oh my goodness. So that is just so cool, which makes me wonder, okay, well, out of the 14, where are the other ones and what sets? Do you have to buy to collect the pictures? And would you get duplicates? I'm not sure, but anyways, that's the one I got. So I don't know if they're all the same in every one of the Hagrid's huts, or it's just kind of mix match throughout the different sets. But that would be something really cool to look into to figure out, because it's possible that everybody gets the same one in this set and everyone gets the same ones in the other sets, but that wouldn't make any sense. Why would they say it's a mystery thing then? But this is a mystery, but that may take a little bit of research to figure it out. How exciting. The way they're building up the outer stone walls is really simple, but surprisingly genius with the way that it's looking. So that goes there. Because if you look at it from the outside, it looks like stone. It's crazy cool, but when you're putting them together, they look really easy. building up the interior and the exterior at the same time here. I think Hagrid liked pumpkins. There's a lot of pumpkins right there. Alright, we're going to put in sticker number 4. Keeper of the keys. Oh, that one was causing me some difficulty. Let's see. Once again, make sure that you put it in where it's recessed in there. Oops. Part of that wasn't down as far as I'd like. There. These hinges are lovely to make everything really nice and secure. There's a potential hurricane heading our way over the next couple days. Can't say I'm looking forward to what that might hold. It won't be a hurricane when it gets to us, but it's supposed to be a very fast-moving storm with a lot of rain, and my daughter's up in the Appalachian Mountains a little bit more, and they're calling for potentially 18 inches up there. And I have to say I am a little bit nervous about that. Because they can deal with a lot of mudslides up there. Let's see here. I'm gonna put, oops, no. That needs to have this little round plate on the bottom of it. And his axe there. So is this where the dragon's egg was, and then he pulls it out? So I'm pretty sure there's this little dragon in this set. This is a smaller chair. I don't think Hagrid would fit into it. Oops. It's a cute little chair for guests, maybe. I think this might be an outside piece. So we're gonna have, I think the pumpkin's gonna go on it. I'm cheating here and looking up at this little bitty picture that shows what we're building. But I spied something. So this is the actual pumpkin brick, but they're using a little headpiece, orange headpiece, to make a baby pumpkin. Okay, so it is going to attach on. So we'll spin it around here. Oh, look at that. I was like, are they just going to have this kind of standing around? No. All right, bag number 5. Okay, so here's this dragon. I love dragons so much. Oh my goodness. Oh, he's awesome. Put him over here for the moment. And then we get to build up Hagrid. Now he is an awesome minifigure because, is he mini? No. Put his shoulders in right here. I don't think I've ever had a minifig this big. His face is small as everything else, but when you put on this big old bushy hair piece, he's going to look much more in proportion. He's got these little bitty feet coming out, which would make sense because his long robes. Oh my goodness, that's awesome. He's got his little dirty apron on. Oh, I love him. How special. Okay. So in the books, they do a much better job of describing his pink umbrella, which, see, I've only seen the movies once. I've got to go back and check because in the book it was a pink umbrella, but in the movies, is it? I'm not remembering it being pink, but maybe it was and I just didn't catch it. Like the first time you watch a movie, you miss half of it. And you're going to have to go back and... My son told me, he's like, you're going to have to watch those a couple times. Look, we got another one. I don't know exactly who these are. That almost looks like Dumbledore because he's got his beard tied up. I still have to figure out if everybody gets different ones or if the set has all the same. Not sure how I'm going to figure that out, but surely somebody is chattering about it out there online. I feel like I've missed something here. Oh, a mug. I love mugs. And it keeps telling me I have enough and that I don't need to get any more. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Although I have gotten better about, I'm very kind of particular about the style that I like. That needs to go down one. Needs to go down two. And so I have gotten better about only keeping the ones that are really my favorite. And then if there's one that I don't care for as much, I'll let it go. I really don't have that many either, but a good mug is always useful. Oops. I've tried to tell him that he's got enough running shoes and doesn't need to replace those anymore. But that's silly. Of course, he has to replace his running shoes. They wear out and then injury can occur. So it's not so much that I have a problem with him replacing his running shoes. He can do that anytime he wants. It's just, do we have to keep the old ones? Wait a minute. So he fusses about me about my mugs, and I fuss at him about his. I keep doing this wrong. His old running shoes. So down here, they're wanting us to put a couple of things. Wait a minute. Put this green one in first, and then this one goes up here on top. And then they're going to build this. This is just a fun build. It hasn't been overly complicated. It's just kind of relaxing. They're throwing me. I keep thinking we need to add another layer on, but this one's just about putting on some outer embellishments to the stone. I added a layer up. It's not super tall, but I don't think that it was supposed to feel that way. Oh boy. They saved the worst sticker for last because we've got to fit it down in here, kind of recessed, which is going to be not fun at all. Why they do that to us is beyond me. Okay, it went in pretty good. I'm maybe a little bit crooked, but not bad. I will take it. Oh no. Oh no. There we go. I'm gonna put in another little cupboard over here. If I can pull this around here. Isn't that cute? I love the inside of his house. Okay. I'm gonna open this up and we're gonna put our other picture just in here. There's not a place that it hooks. They just want us to kind of close it in there, which is interesting because it's not wanting the door to shut. What am I doing? picture kind of shows us, but it's really subtle. He can't go straight up. He's got to go lying down sideways or the door doesn't shut. But we got him in there. Hopefully we all did. A few more hinges on top. It just occurred to me we have to put on a roof. And you're probably going to laugh at me because that is a part that I cringe when I think about having to do it. I don't know why certain things like freak me out. No! Don't make me put on a roof. Whoops. They're usually not that bad. I'm gonna be honest, it's probably because it's gonna be repetitive. And I'll think I'll have to get all fussy about that. Now, what is this? Oh, it's a table. Oh, it's the dragon egg. It's the cracked open dragon egg. Does he fit in it? Yes! I am totally cheating there because they haven't told us to put it in there yet. They want his pink umbrella in there. And then they tell us to close it up. Wait, I'm going to put Hagrid in here too. He gets to be there with his dragon egg. Okay. Close it up and put into something on the outside. It's funny because when I'm really enjoying building a set, I don't want to stop. I don't want to take a break. I just want to keep. Now wait a minute. It's hiding under my book, this little cylinder. If it's, I don't know, kind of hard or it's fun, but I'm not overly excited about it, then I want to take a little break and go check on the puppies or, you know, do some house cleaning or something. But with this one, I'm just like, let's just keep going. Although I do have a problem here. There is no way in the world that this is okay. So I'm going to go figure out what I did. Okay, it was right here. I had put these up on it, but this hinge has to go on first. And then this goes up, which would make a whole lot of sense because it was a little wiggly over there. So once again, got excited, missed a part. Wouldn't be a build I do unless that happens. Okay, move on to bag 6. All right, here we go. It looks like we're gonna actually start on the roof. I'm not gonna panic. Of course, I might panic because I can't find that piece I need. Here we go. Here we go. Could be a lot of fun. Zig already. Let's see. How are they doing this? Now we need 2 of those. And then they go. So the brown pieces overhang by 1 stud on each side is what I'm seeing, I believe. I would think that those would cover the seam, but I don't think that they are going to make those spaced properly. There's an interesting interior structure going onto this. Kind of throwing me for a bit, and so that is good. Keep it interesting. I am kind of drooling over Gringotts Bank and the Burroughs sets. Gotta be honest with you, I really would like those, but they come with a nice little price tag, don't they? I'll be saving up for those, but they're so beautiful. When Gringotts first came out, I hadn't seen the movies yet. And I told Matt, I'm like, oh, we might need that set. And he was like, why? We don't know anything about it. I was like, I don't know, because that set is really cool. And we might need to, look at it from a technical perspective, of brick building and stuff. Tried to convince him, it didn't work. But now that I know about it, he's doomed. We'll get it. I'll get it in the collection one way or another. I love the Weasley's house. Now that'd be a fun place to live. Now, what are you doing? This is more complicated than anything else that I've built in this set so far. Kind of like those are the rafters or something, and then we're just building up to hold the peak structure. But I don't know, this is kind of weird. I'm sure that it will all make sense here in a minute. It's throwing my brain for a bit of a loop. I turned 2 pages at once, and so I skipped a whole page, and I got really confused. I'm like, how did I miss all of those pieces? Well, I'll tell you how. You can't skip 4 steps ahead. So we have those in there. Oh my goodness. I think, however, whatever we're going to do to make the peaked roof is going to be kind of crazy cool. Putting on these little white things. Really have to figure out what their official name is. I'm horrible about telling myself to do something and then remembering to actually do it. So that, I love it when they do that, because by putting them in there, it holds that piece in place so it's not like spinning every which way. I've seen that done before. It's really helpful. I'll tell you the one roof I really didn't actually enjoy building. Look at how that worked. Wow. Was the Snow White's cottage roof. That was... They weren't as hard as I thought they were going to be. We're going to double stack these all the way around. But get back here. It was pretty tedious. It took some time. That's for sure. We're going to go all the way around every side of this. It's quite the structure we're building up, isn't it? Now, oh, okay. Where did those go? They go there. There was just a lot of layering to make the thatched roof on that. But it's probably one of the most exquisite brick roofs I've seen. So well worth the effort. All right, we're going to put this down. Let's build up something else here. Now, how are these going in? This one goes this way. It looks like we're going to start putting panels on it. And hopefully they won't be crazy complicated. Now make sure those are pushed down all the way, because sometimes they're picky about that, but then I'm going to make sure that this yellow piece is aiming the right way. We're going to put that into there. Now that one, it was just one, but this one it says to do 2 of. So I'm going to try to, before I turn the page, make sure I'm built up 2 of these. Kind of looks similar to what we just did. Oops. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do the second one. Couldn't find my piece there. Now we can turn the page and see what else we've got here. These are almost identical to the one we just did, which is kind of interesting. Why they didn't just tell us to do 3. Ah, here's where it gets different. We put this bigger piece in. That's why they told us not to do it. The back side is different, so I'm going to finish the other one here. So I've come up with this brilliant plan to try to build a very large display of Hogwarts, and I want to use the existing sets, new ones that are coming out, and then to kind of make it and then do a lot of adding in my own mock building within it, because the sets alone don't necessarily cover everything that I want to have covered in them. Okay, I think it goes that way. That was really confusing. I would like to be able to add on my own things and make a bigger grounds and that kind of stuff. So, but they're coming out with new sets. This is a newer one. And then they have the older sets, a lot of them that are retiring. Goes there. I'll probably do a mirrored image here. Yep. Did I do that other one right? Yes, I did. Okay. Nope. I've done something. Oh! There we go. That's what I did wrong. I had it on the wrong side. But the tops to the spires on the castle, some of the older sets are in green, and then some of the newer sets they're in gray. And so it's kind of like, if I collect as many of the old and new sets as I can to put together, then I'm going to have quite the difference in those roof, kind of the spire pieces. The turrets, so to speak. So I'll probably have to pick which color I'm going to use. Oh, it rolled over here. I thought, wow, we really lost a piece. And then go with the, get whatever pieces that I need extra. And I don't know if I want to go with the gray or the green. Probably gray, because that would be more accurate. Okay, push this down right in the middle there. And move on to our very last bag. Oh boy. We're going to build Draco. Okay, so he's got 2 faces. He's got a snarl and a bigger snarl. I kind of feel sorry for the actors that have to play these villains in the movies, because you really dislike them. The characters, not the actors. Oh, so the other ones have just sweaters on. They have regular plain clothes on, but he's got his uniform on. This is kind of hard to see, but he's got his little Slytherin badge there. I actually think it's awesome that they put him in it. So every single one of the kids has a different color wand. I thought that they would use these spares to pass around, but they didn't. Everybody got their own special color, which is cool. I'll make sure to save those. Okay, let's see what trouble they're going to get me into now. I suppose they don't have to get me into it. I'll get myself into it. We are going to build 4 of these. I just spied that. know how I just noticed this? You know how they'll have a little figure running down the bottom to show you how close you are to the end of the build? It's Fang. How did I go through this whole book and not see that? I think it's because my arm was on it. Let's see here. Oh! That was springy. I did that wrong. It's got to be flipped around like this. Yeah, kind of overhangs there. All right, now we're going to add some styling to the top. Oh, I love these. They're spongy on top. So I have it going straight up there, and we're going to build 4 of them. So I'll set that to the side, and we'll go back to the beginning. And do it all over again. That was pretty easy though. It hasn't been crazy complicated so far to do any of the steps to it. Well, I might just get fast on this part. I think the thing I'm most impressed about this is just how much fun it has been to build it. It is kind of interesting to me how I love everything that I build, but certain ones just have a little extra special touch to them that just are a little bit more special somehow, and I'm not exactly sure why. I don't know if it's just because of personal preference or if it's because the set itself just has a little something special to it that you start picking up on. I was right about one thing. There are a lot of different panels that we'll have to do to make this peaked like it's supposed to be. Make sure that's good and pushed down. Let's see, one more of these. And of course, the last little green tiny piece is hiding somewhere. Oh, way back there. All right, now we have all 4 of them made, and we're going to put them in to these corner pieces. So it looks like they're going to finish the bottom level here. I still have them kind of sticking up, so I'll just leave it. It looks kind of menacing up there. And we're going to build 4 more of these, so I won't turn the page until all 4 of them have this first step done. Something about this green and this gray that are really pretty together. All right, we're going to do that again. We'll just kind of knock these out real quick. Everything? Oh, I've done something very wrong though. Oops, I'm glad I caught that now. This needs to go down 1. I'm going to have to fix it on the other one. That's not going to want to come up easy, is it? Move everything up 1, so it's supposed to look like that. We have a tendency to want to make everything very efficient in the family, and I think part of that is because you know, when you're busy raising kids and stuff, you've got a lot of stuff to get done, and you got to kind of move things along, so to speak. But I think another reason is my energy levels are bad with my health, and so I have to be very efficient with my time and what I'm doing. But it's funny how it comes out, you know. It's like it's a concern to me to be efficient with how I'm building sets. And that's kind of funny. All right, so then that one's ready. Whereas most people would just kind of enjoy the process, and I'm sitting here going, okay, how can we use the least amount of energy and get it done the most efficiently? But when you have to salvage your energy levels to get everything done, it becomes very important. Every step I take has to count. Oops. Don't forget this one. But they went together really well. Now, okay. Now they're going to fit in here. You can see that. Wow. Didn't see that coming. Be a little bit careful as you put them in, but okay, I'm impressed. I didn't know exactly how they were going to do that. Now I fold these in. I am extremely impressed with that. That is... It looks like a hat. Doesn't it? That's crazy cool. Oh my goodness, put this up on top here. I think I'm almost more impressed with that than I am the Snow White's house, or roof on the house. I guess it's the dwarf's cottage, but everybody calls it the Snow White cottage. It's very unfair. I think we're going to build up this little chimney here. Not sure what it's going to hook onto. Nope. The circles go inwards, the curved part of it. I love it when they make smoke with bricks. I don't know, there's something special about it. And look at this piece that they're using for it this time. I love that. Oh, that's what we had that little yellow part for, with the blue pin coming out of it. Squeeze it in there. I'd forgotten about it. Well, that just made it better, didn't it? Oh my goodness. And just like that, we're done. Wait a minute. I gotta look back on this. Okay, the chimney goes on this side of the door. So somehow or another it's gonna... I figured exactly how it fits on there. Okay, so it's a little bit tricky. You've got to line up. It's this piece and then this, goodness, everything's blurry. It's this piece and this piece. Okay, those two that need to fit on these kind of orange and nougat colors. So you got to kind of spin it to where that's what's fitting down and attaching, and then you've got it all on there. Perfect. Oh my goodness. That is such an incredible set. I'm very, very impressed with it, and what a fun build. I just had so much fun with that. And here is the answer to the mystery. It says collect all 14 portraits. Portrait tiles are packed randomly in the sets. So you know what that means. We're going to have to start collecting all the sets, guys, so that we can get all of our portraits. What a fun little incentive there. Well, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will build again with you very soon.